The silent vanguard. The orbital defense station Aegis hummed with activity as Commander Maya Reyes strode through its gleaming corridors. For over 7 centuries, humanity had remained isolated within their solar system, hidden behind layers of advanced stealth technology and signal-dampening fields. The Great Isolation, they called it, a self-imposed exile from the galactic stage, for reasons lost to all, but a handful of high-ranking officials. At 43, Maya had spent her entire career monitoring the edges of human space, protecting Earth and its colonies scattered throughout the solar system from potential threats that never seemed to materialize. Today, however, was different. Today, something had broken through their defenses. Commander, Lieutenant Elias Chen called out as Maya entered the command center. "You need to see this." He handed her a data pad, his expression grave. Maya's eyes widened as she studied the readings. "Confirm this," she ordered. "Already have." 3 separate systems picked it up. "It's genuine," Chen replied. For the first time in 7 centuries, an alien transmission had penetrated Earth's communication blackout. The message was brief, encoded in an ancient human military cipher, and its contents sent a chill down Maya's spine. The pact remembers. The vanguard must return. Within hours, Maya stood before the Earth Defense Council, 12 men and women who governed humanity's military forces. Director Samira Ibrahim, head of the council, fixed Maya with a penetrating stare. "Commander Reyes, what do you make of this transmission?" Maya chose her words carefully. The signal originated from a star system designated Helios 9, once a human colony world before the isolation. "Someone out there not only knows about us, but is using our own military codes to contact us." "Impossible," Council member Harrison scoffed. "Those codes would be ancient history. Unless," Director Ibrahim said quietly, "someone has been waiting for us all this time." The room fell silent as Ibrahim activated a secure terminal that required her biometric signature. A holographic star map appeared, showing hundreds of systems far beyond Sol. "What most of humanity has forgotten," Ibrahim explained, "is that Earth once stood at the center of a vast interstellar alliance. We weren't just explorers, we were protectors, the vanguard of over 30 sapient species across this sector of the galaxy." Maya stared in disbelief. None of this appeared in any historical record she'd ever seen. Why would we abandon that role? Why isolate ourselves? "Because of what we did to fulfill that role," Ibrahim answered grimly. "The full history has been preserved only among those with the highest security clearance. The Great Isolation wasn't about fear, it was about atonement." After hours of debate, the council reached a decision. A single ship would be sent to investigate the signal source. The Prometheus, Earth's most advanced vessel, equipped with both defensive and stealth capabilities. Commander Maya Reyes would lead the mission, along with a small specialized crew. Dr. Nathaniel Park, Earth's foremost xenolinguist, joined Maya as they boarded the Prometheus. "Ever met an alien, Commander?" he asked, barely containing his excitement. "No one has, not in centuries," Maya replied. "And if all goes according to plan, we won't either. We observe, we learn, we return home." "Where's your sense of adventure?" Park grinned. Maya stopped walking and faced him directly. "This isn't an adventure, Doctor. Something caused humanity to lock itself away from the entire galaxy. We would do well to remember that." Before their departure, Director Ibrahim handed Maya a small data crystal. "Review this in private," she instructed. "It contains information even I wasn't privy to until recently. If what we suspect is true, humanity may soon face a choice about ending our long isolation." The Prometheus departed Earth's orbital dock, accelerating past the lunar colonies and the Mars terraforming stations. As they approached the edge of the solar system, Maya gave the order to activate the quantum fold drive, technology developed during isolation that enabled faster-than-light travel. "Drive spinning up," reported Chief Engineer Takashi Yamamoto. "Field stability at optimal levels." Maya gazed at the main view screen. showing the vastness of space beyond Neptune. For centuries, this had been the boundary of human exploration. Today, they would break that limit. Fold space in 3, 2, 1. Reality twisted around them as the Prometheus tore through the fabric of space-time. In the privacy of her quarters, Maya inserted Ibrahim's data crystal into her secure terminal. A holographic figure appeared, a woman in an ancient military uniform from 7 centuries ago. If you're viewing this message, the recording began. Then the signal has been received. The pact has called humanity back to war. Before you decide whether to answer, you must understand why we left. Maya watched in growing horror as the recording detailed humanity's past, not as peaceful explorers, but as ruthless warriors who had unleashed devastating weapons against an implacable enemy called the Void Scourge. The methods used had been so extreme, so horrifying, that after victory was achieved, Earth's leaders made a fateful decision. Humanity would withdraw from galactic affairs, sealing away knowledge of their military prowess and the terrible weapons they had created. But we knew they might return someday. The recording continued. When they do, you will have to choose whether humanity honors its ancient promise to protect the galaxy, even at the cost of our soul. The Prometheus emerged from Fold space near Helios 9, a yellow star much like Sol. Maya ordered full stealth protocols as they approached the system's 4th planet, once a human colony named Arcadia, now abandoned for centuries. "I'm detecting the structure in orbit," Lieutenant Chen reported. "Small station, minimal power signature. It appears dormant, but, Commander, it's of human design." "Impossible," Maya whispered. "No human has been out here for 700 years." "Not impossible," Dr. Park corrected, studying the sensor data. "Just forgotten." Maya assembled a small team. Herself, Dr. Park, Chief Engineer Yamamoto, and Security Chief Ramirez. They boarded a shuttle and approached the mysterious station cautiously. Up close, the structure appeared ancient, its hull bearing the scars of centuries exposed to space debris and radiation. They docked and entered through an airlock. To their astonishment, life support systems still functioned, providing breathable air. Emergency lights flickered on as they moved deeper into the station, revealing corridors and chambers untouched for centuries. In the central room, a soft blue light activated as they entered, coalescing into a holographic human figure, an older man in an ancient military uniform. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," the hologram said. "I am Guardian, caretaker of Outpost Arcadia." "How did you know we're from Earth?" Maya asked, hand resting on her sidearm. "Your ship carries design elements consistent with Earth technology, despite evolutionary changes," Guardian responded. "And you arrived in response to the signal I transmitted. You sent the message." "About the pact?" Dr. Park asked eagerly. Guardian nodded. "I was programmed to monitor this sector and activate only if certain conditions were met. Those conditions have now been fulfilled." "What conditions?" Maya demanded. "The return of the Void Scourge." The name hung in the air, familiar to Maya only from Ibrahim's secret recording. "What is the Void Scourge?" she asked, though she already suspected the answer. Guardian's form shifted, displaying 3-dimensional images of strange entities, part organic, part energy, with appearances that seemed to defy physical laws. "The Void Scourge is a collective consciousness that exists partially in our dimension and partially in another. 7 centuries ago, they invaded our galaxy, consuming all life they encountered. They were nearly unstoppable until they met humanity." Maya exchanged glances with her team. "Our history contains nothing about this." "Your history was deliberately altered," Guardian explained. "Humanity didn't retreat from the galaxy because it feared defeat. Humanity retreated because the victory came at a terrible price." Guardian activated a viewing screen showing ancient footage of massive space battles, human ships fighting alongside alien vessels against swarms of strange energy beings. The tactics displayed were brilliant, ruthless, and devastating. Humanity developed weapons that targeted the scourge's interdimensional nature, Guardian continued. Devices that could destabilize the fabric between realities. Effective, but with horrifying consequences. Entire star systems were rendered uninhabitable, millions of innocent lives lost as collateral damage. When the war ended, Earth's leaders were so disgusted by what they had done that they chose isolation, sealing away knowledge of both the war and the weapons that won it. But why maintain the isolation for centuries? Yamamoto asked. 2 reasons, Guardian replied. First, shame over the methods used. Second, a strategic decision. The treaty that formed the pact contained a contingency. If the Void Scourge ever returned, humanity would be called back to lead the fight once more. Maya finally understood Director Ibrahim's cryptic warnings. And now they're back. Yes, Guardian confirmed. My long-range sensors detected Void Scourge activity at the edge of what was once packed space. I immediately transmitted the signal as programmed. What packed space? Maya asked. Who are our allies in this? Guardian's hologram shifted again, displaying a map of dozens of star systems and the species that inhabited them. The Galactic Defensive Pact, 34 spacefaring civilizations united under human leadership. For 7 centuries, they have honored the treaty, protecting the borders of human space while continuing their own development. Maya felt a cold realization washing over her. You're saying that while we hid away, others have been standing guard for us. Yes, Commander. They respected humanity's choice to withdraw, but they never forgot their protectors. They've been waiting for your return. Where do we find them now? Maya asked. I have coordinates to the Pact Assembly world, Guardian replied. Representatives have gathered there, preparing for humanity's return. As Guardian began transferring data to their systems, Maya sent a secure transmission back to the Prometheus. Prepare for long-range communication to Earth. Director Ibrahim needs to know what we found. The ghosts of humanity's warrior past had returned, bringing with them a choice. Maintain the peaceful isolation they had known for centuries, or reclaim their role as the galaxy's defenders and face the terrible responsibility that came with it. Awakening the Vanguard. The Prometheus emerged from fold space at the coordinates Guardian had provided. Captain Maya stood at the command console, her face tight with concentration. After sending their report to Earth, Director Ibrahim had ordered them to proceed to the Pact Assembly world and gather more information about the situation. Scanning the area, Lieutenant Chen reported. Multiple vessels detected in orbit around the 4th planet. Designs unlike anything in our database. Those ships, Dr. Park said excitedly, pointing at the view screen, they matched the designs from Guardian's records. Those are Pact vessels. On the main display, they could see ships of varying sizes and configurations moving in coordinated patterns around a small rust-colored world. The vessels were clearly military in nature, armed and armored, positioned defensively. We're being scanned, Yamamoto announced. Very advanced technology. Our stealth systems can't completely mask our presence. Incoming transmission. Communications Officer Davis called out. It's in an ancient form of standardized Earth English. Maya took a deep breath. Put it through. The voice came over the speakers, calm and measured, but clearly not human. Earth vessel, you are recognized. The Pact welcomes humanity's return. Please follow the transmitted approach vector to landing coordinates. The crew turned to Maya, awaiting her decision. How do they know we're from Earth? Security Chief Ramirez whispered. Let's find out, Maya replied. Follow their approach vector. Maintain defensive readiness, but take no hostile action. The Prometheus descended toward the planet's surface, escorted by 2 sleek alien vessels. Breaking through the cloud layer, they saw a sprawling complex built into a mountain range, partially subterranean and designed to be difficult to detect from orbit. It's a fortress, Ramirez observed. They landed on a designated platform near the main structure. Maya selected her away team. herself, Dr. Park, Chief Ramirez, and 2 security officers. Before disembarking, she addressed them one final time. Remember, we're here to gather information. Be respectful but cautious. This is the first official contact between humanity and alien species in 7 centuries. Let's not start another war. The landing ramp lowered, and for the first time in centuries, humans stepped onto the soil of an alien world to meet other species face to face. 3 figures awaited them at the base of the ramp. The central being stood slightly taller than a human, with iridescent blue skin and 4 arms. To its left was a creature with a crystalline exoskeleton that caught the light in prismatic patterns. To its right stood a smaller entity with features reminiscent of Earth's cephalopods. The blue-skinned being stepped forward. "I am Ambassador Tolan of the Sci-Fi Confederation. On behalf of the Pact, I welcome humanity's representatives." Maya introduced herself and her team. "We received your message. We've come to learn more about the situation." "Please follow me," Tolan said, gesturing with one of his upper arms. They walked through corridors carved into the mountain, passing members of various alien species. Many stopped to stare at the humans with expressions that Maya interpreted as a mixture of awe and relief. "They look at us like we're their saviors," Park whispered. "To them, perhaps we are," Maya replied quietly. Ambassador Tolan led them into a large chamber where representatives from at least 20 different species sat in a circular arrangement. As the humans entered, the aliens rose to their feet in what seemed to be a gesture of profound respect. "The humans have answered our call," Tolan announced to the assembly. An elder alien with crystalline features spoke up. "After 7 cycles, the vanguard returns. The prophecy holds true." Maya stepped forward. "We're not warriors. Earth has been peaceful for centuries." A ripple of what sounded like laughter moved through the assembly. "Commander Reyes," said Tolan, "humanity may have forgotten its nature, but the rest of the galaxy has not. The stories of your species' military brilliance have been passed down through generations. Some became myth, but the core truth remained." "What truth?" Maya asked. "That without humanity, the Pact cannot defeat the Void Scourge," replied Tolan. "Not again." Tolan activated a holographic display in the center of the room. It showed star systems at the edge of what he called known space. Dozens of worlds, some marked in pulsing red. "The red markers indicate worlds already consumed by the Scourge," Tolan explained. "They returned 3 years ago, emerging from the void between galaxies. They have evolved, adapted. Our defenses slow them, but cannot stop them." "Why didn't you contact Earth sooner?" Ramirez asked. A smaller alien with features that reminded Maya of an Earth insect answered. "The treaty your ancestors signed was clear. Humanity would remain isolated unless the Scourge returned at full strength. We have honored that treaty, protecting the borders of human space for 7 centuries." Maya looked surprised. "You've been protecting us." "Of course," said Tolan. "It was our part of the bargain. Humanity defeated the Scourge and chose isolation. We promised to ensure that isolation remained unbroken." Maya turned to Dr. Park. "Did you know about this protection?" Park shook his head. "Our histories mention nothing about alien guardians." "There is much your people chose to forget," said Tolan. "But now memory must return." A door at the far end of the chamber opened, and a human figure walked in, an older man in a uniform design that Maya didn't recognize. "Who are you?" Maya demanded, hand moving instinctively toward her weapon. "Admiral James Morgan," the man replied. "Earth Fleet, Outer Defense Division." "That's impossible," said Park. "Earth hasn't had an Outer Defense Division for centuries." Admiral Morgan smiled grimly. "Not officially, no, but some of us remembered our duty to the Pact. While Earth slept, we watched. A small contingent of humanity never forgot our pledge." "You're saying a secret human military organization has existed all this time?" Maya asked incredulously. Morgan nodded. "Sanctioned by the highest levels of Earth government, passed down through generations of leadership. Only a handful knew of our existence. We maintained outposts beyond the solar system, keeping minimal contact with the packed races, preparing for the day when the scourge might return. Maya struggled to process this revelation. Director Ibrahim knew about this. She is one of the few, Morgan confirmed. When Guardian's signal reached Earth, she activated protocols established centuries ago. Tolan stepped forward again. Commander Reyes, time grows short. The Void Scourge advances faster than we can contain them. We need humanity's tactical genius and the weapons your ancestors developed. Those weapons were sealed away for a reason, Maya argued. Our records suggest they caused catastrophic collateral damage. Yes, Morgan admitted. But they were also the only weapons that truly worked against the Scourge. In the centuries since, we've refined the technology, made it more precise. But we need Earth's full resources and military might to deploy them effectively. Tolan gestured to the holographic display. Every red marker represents billions of lives lost. If the Scourge reaches the core systems, trillions more will die. Maya felt the weight of decision pressing down on her. I don't have the authority to commit Earth to war. No, Morgan agreed. But your report will help determine whether humanity honors its ancient pledge or remains in isolation while the galaxy burns. Before Maya could respond, alarms blared throughout the complex. A pact officer rushed into the chamber. Void Scourge vessels detected at the edge of the system, the officer reported. They'd found us sooner than expected. Tolan turned to Maya. Whether you decide to fight alongside us or not, Commander, you're about to see what we're facing. Within minutes, Maya and her team stood in the command center of the packed fortress, watching as defense ships moved to intercept the approaching threat. On the main display, strange vessels appeared. Not solid ships, but swirling configurations of energy and matter that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. They exist partially in our dimension and partially in another, explained Morgan. Conventional weapons pass through them with minimal effect. Maya watched in horror as the Scourge vessels engaged the pack defenders. Energy beams and projectiles fired by the alien ships seemed to dissipate harmlessly against the Scourge. When a Scourge vessel made contact with a defender, the alien ship simply dissolved, its very atomic structure coming apart. This is what we're facing, Tolan said quietly. This is why we need humanity. Maya made a decision. She opened a secure channel to the Prometheus. Lieutenant Chen, transmit everything we're seeing back to Earth. Priority Alpha. Then prepare the ship's experimental phase cannon. Commander? Chen's voice came back, surprised. That weapon hasn't been field-tested. It's based on the same principles as the old Vanguard weapons, Maya explained. It might be effective. She turned to Morgan. Can you get us to orbit? My ship is standing by, the Admiral replied. Minutes later, Maya stood on the bridge of Morgan's vessel, approaching the battle. The Prometheus moved into position alongside them. Target the lead Scourge vessel, Maya ordered. Full power to the phase cannon. The Prometheus fired, a beam of coherent energy that seemed to shimmer between states of matter. When it struck the Scourge vessel, the effect was immediate. The enemy ship didn't explode. Instead, it seemed to collapse in on itself, as if the space it occupied was folding inward. Direct hit, Chen reported. Target neutralized. Tolan stared at Maya in astonishment. How did you know that would work? I didn't, Maya admitted. But I suspected our scientists might have been working on similar principles to the old weapons, even without knowing their original purpose. The remaining Scourge vessels retreated, disappearing into the depths of space. They'll be back, Morgan said, with reinforcements. Maya nodded. And we'll be ready. She opened a channel to Earth. Director Ibrahim, this is Commander Reyes. The threat is real. And it's worse than we imagined. But I believe we can fight it. Ibrahim's voice came through, resolute. The Council has reviewed your reports, Commander. Emergency protocols have been activated. Earth's long silence is over. As Maya stood on the bridge, watching the stars where the enemy had vanished, she felt the weight of centuries lifting. Humanity had hidden from its past for too long, denied its nature as both creator and destroyer. Now, faced with an existential threat to all life, they would remember what they once were, the vanguard of the galaxy, protectors of all sentient life. "We have much to prepare," Tolan said. "The scourge will strike again soon." Maya turned to the alien ambassador, determination in her eyes. For 700 years, the Pact has waited for humanity's return. For 700 years, you have honored your promise to protect us while we slept. She extended her hand in the human gesture of partnership. "Now it's our turn to honor our promise to you." As Tolan clasped her hand with two of his own, Maya knew that humanity's long isolation was truly at an end. The sleeping giant had awakened, and the Void Scourge would soon remember why the galaxy had once trembled at humanity's approach. For they were not just explorers or diplomats. They were warriors, and after 7 centuries of peace, war had found them once again.